Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi, everyone. How are you today?
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi, Alana. How are you?
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown
Hi, Zilla
Live.
Stars.
Go to Tracey Brown
How are
Live.
you?
Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Good morning, Jess.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Got a couple of things to discuss this morning. And one of them is Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson put in her documentary, which, by the way, who fell in love with Janet Jackson? Who fell in love with her? Who was like, oh my God, she actually changed my life and I didn't even know it, right? Who fell in love with Janet Jackson? Because I did. And I adore that she made this documentary, that she gave us insight, that she was a little disappointed in her brother Michael. I was very proud of her to admit that, because I know that's a hard thing with such a tight-knit family to actually come out and say. Although I think we kind of knew Michael had issues with his brothers. What we didn't know was that Janet was disappointed with him. But I love the honesty. And then at some point she said, it got to the Justin Timberlake part, right? And at one point she said, we're friends. Basically, like, guys, we're friends. That's the only part in the whole documentary I didn't believe. You know why? Because Janet had this picture, so it was fused in as if to say this was made during the documentary, but it wasn't. Right now, Janet has black and blue hair, right? Oh, I thought I added it. This is the hair that Janet has right now on her IG. And in the documentary, her hair didn't look anything like this. She has since even lost some weight since her documentary. Let me just show. Oh, I love this number, 919. Love that number. Let me just show IG what I'm talking about, so IG is not left out of the loop. Oh, shoot, I deleted it. Oh, no, I haven't. This is the picture that she has on IG right now with the blue streamed in. And when we got to the part where she's like, Justin and I are friends, she had this style here, right? And it was a different facial look, because when she started the documentary, she was full face, I believe, still working on losing weight from the baby and all that stuff, right? Because it's a process, losing weight, trust and believe, I know. But I believe it got fused in. And my impression that I got, to be honest with you, my impression that I got is that Justin reached out to her and that he he got slaughtered with Britney's documentary, which was not authorized by Britney. And so what they said about Justin was authentic, right? Britney didn't have a say in Leave Justin Alone. But this was Janet's documentary. And so I believe Justin reached out to her. And I believe he was like, one more and I'm ruined. And you know Janet, she does have a heart of gold. So I feel like she was like, all right, let's redirect what I say about him. We're going to tell the truth, and then let's just fuse in, like, we talk, we're friends. Janet, not for 1 minute am I going to believe that you and Justin are friends. Not for a minute. The last time he was on the Super Bowl, he did invite Janet. But one, Janet was like, oh, hell no. And two, she has this history with CBS. And she didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. And by the way, I think Les Moonves was still in charge of CBS. And that rabbit hole would have been, I need to talk to Janet in private, you know. And we later found out he molested his employees, which I think Janet always knew. And that's the reason why she refused to continue whatever Les Moonves needed her to do. I need you to apologize, need you to apologize, need you to apologize. Like, that is so KKK, Les Moonves. And I'm so glad you got caught hurting your employees and your women. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you know, guys, 2 cops died in New York City, right? And they died during a domestic dispute. Well, here's what I have to say to that, right? There should be no reason that 2 cops should die during a domestic dispute. We have got to start seeing domestic abuse as violent, and violent on the 2 individuals that's in a domestic quarrel, right? You've got to learn to leave, because most times this isn't the first domestic issue. Most times there's a history going on. When the first one occurs, most times you didn't even call. But I find it so sad that we use the police to save us, right? And why are we using the police to save us during a domestic dispute? Most times it's to get someone out the house. But somebody could die. And in this case, 2 cops died. So I don't know what happened with the domestic dispute issue. I can only tell you the end result is that 2 cops died. And as much as I'm all about Black Power, BLM, you know, redirecting monies to have a safer environment for the public at large, right? Because police are quick to pull the gun as a, you know, oh, I pulled the taser. No, ma'am, you pulled the gun, right? 2 cops died. Two, which to me sounds like an ambush, but I'm not getting in the middle of what happened in New York City. But 2 cops died. Yo, we're going to have to learn to celebrate death. We're going to have to learn to sit back and celebrate death, because 2 cops died, and 2 young cops. And did you see the relatives of the Rivera? Like, they had to be wheelchaired in, and one of them was screaming. And we had, like, 2 cops died. That is a shame over domestic violence, is, I think, the point that I'm trying to make. Over domestic violence. And then they shut the city down, right? And one woman, one crazy woman, I forget her name now, maybe I could read it. On Friday, thousands lined up Manhattan streets to mourn the 22-year-old. Last name is Rivera. I believe it's Jose Rivera. But an actress, Jacqueline Guzman, likely wasn't one of them. This is from the New York Post. The actress posted a TikTok about street closures prompted by the funeral. She goes, "We do not need to shut down most of Lower Manhattan because one cop died." And I say, if I die, shut the streets down. If somebody values me that much, shut the streets down. Take a moment and let them celebrate a partner that died during a domestic dispute. They don't do this because a cop died. They did it because he was 22. And it was a domestic dispute, which could have been prevented, is I think what I'm trying to say. Could have been prevented if they would have left each other. Could have been prevented if you got a protection order. Could have been prevented if you got therapy. Why are police policing domestic disputes and not know if you're going to get to come home to your family? Well, in this picture, they shut that city down, and I honor that. I honor life, and I believe in celebrating death. And I don't care if it is a cop. And I've said this before, maybe you guys don't know it, but, you know, I have cops in my family. I have people that work for NYPD. So, yeah, don't try me. You know, I'm not participating in that much ugly. So, lo and behold, this TikTok went viral and her company fired her. As they should. They should fire her. Sometimes you all use TikTok and IG like it's your best friend. It's not. Sometimes y'all need to put the thumbs down. Put them down. You got a complaint, call your best friend that you know will never say anything. What the hell's going on here? It's ridiculous. Right. That's what best friends are for. Not TikTok, not IG. The cop died due to a domestic dispute. That is pathetic. And I stick by my answer. I'll never take it back. Thank you, Urban, for your I forget what it's called, but thank you, Urban. People need therapy and walk away from domestic violence, right? Right. Why are we using the cops to solve our issues when most times y'all go back to the person who's committing the domestic violence on you? Most times you all go back. Do you know how hard it is to convince someone to leave a relationship that's it's embedded with domestic violence? The rule is 7 times. That could be 7 days, 7 months, 7 years, 7 hits to the face. 7 hits to the face could go and last 15 years. It takes forever for somebody to leave a domestic violence situation. But you want to call the cops to get a temporary reprieve? And then they come, in Los Angeles, counselors come now, and they try to convince you to file a domestic violence order, a protection order. And if the guy gets out of jail too soon, because you have to come back in a week, if the guy comes out of jail too soon, the court case goes on and the parties, no one there. It's mortifying. And the person can convince the other one that they're sorry. I'm so sorry. How you doing? I didn't mean it. And what the person that's being abused wants is love. They want to be heard. They want to be loved. And if this is the way to get love after abuse, then they'll accept that version of love they've always wanted, because that was the loving person they met the first time, even though he never showed up again. Thank you, Crystal. Not every thought has to be shared online. So if you all want to lose your jobs, go ahead. It's hands up. It's your life. Go ahead and lose your jobs. But not everything needs to be shared online. Thank you, Kiana. So click the like button. Please follow, please share. And I run both sides of the coin. I am definitely a fan of police reform. But you will never hear me say a bad word about the police either. And if somebody dies, that's the best time to just zip it. Death is permanent. And other people have to deal with that. All right? I'm not lecturing. I'm just saying I agree with the company's decision to fire that young lady that just thought it was okay to use TikTok as if it was her best friend. All right. The last thing we're going to look at is Spotify. Turns out Spotify is in some trouble. Who actually has a Spotify account? Spotify is insisting upon, protecting Joe Rogan, who is a complete racist. He's a racist, period. And Spotify is sticking by their $100 million contract, Joe Rogan. They have since over the weekend lost $4 million when the singer Neil, I forget his last name, was like, choose between him and me. And they got rid of Neil. Spotify was like, fuck you, Neil. We're going to take Joe. But Spotify lost $4 million with that choice. I don't have Spotify. I'm not a real music person. Do you guys have Spotify? Do you guys have Spotify? I don't. I can't really do too much music. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Hi, beautiful conundrum. You just missed what I said about New York City and the cops. You just missed it. Go back and watch it, okay? Oh, good. I do have something here. Oh, my God. All right. Will Spotify survive? It's on the phone, but I use Tidal. But you pay for Spotify, though. So, do you need Spotify? Spotify lost $4 million. I'm going to see if they're going to lose $4 million more. I'm going to see if keeping Joe Rogan on is the best for them. So let's take a look. Spotify is all about the money. They are concerned because they are losing money, but I also think they're losing in 3 different areas. I don't know what the areas are, but 3 different areas is being compromised. They definitely feed off of Joe Rogan. But yeah, this might be the death of Spotify. Cancel your accounts, people. This might be the death of Spotify. Um, they did make a statement to say that they're going to put a disclaimer on Joe Rogan's account when he says something extremely derogatory, but I don't think that's enough, right? So this is the news of them saying Joe Rogan is not going to change. They're going to start watching Joe Rogan more. There are no censors for Joe Rogan. Will they fail? Yes. Meaning, will more money get depleted? Yes. So I feel like 4 million is going to turn to 8 million. Are they going to crumble, right? Holding on to a racist account. They're losing commercials. Thank you. Oh, that makes so much sense. Thank you. Are they going to hold on to a Joe Rogan type and sponsors, losing commercial sponsors? I also believe nobody's going to want to be attached, thank you, beautiful conundrum, to Joe Rogan's show, right? Like, am I really going to want to listen to a Dove commercial or a McDonald's commercial during Joe Rogan's show? No, because then that tells me that you all support Joe Rogan, and I'm not down for that, right? I think they're going to be on the fence. I think Spotify is in the dark. I think they're going to be on the fence. I think that they're going to have to make some changes, but I think they're refusing to make changes. So, seriously, what's going on here is to recognize that Spotify is racist. Spotify doesn't care about their people. They care about one person on their account, and that's Joe Rogan. Spotify is the KKK. Allegedly. That's the way Spirit is showing me. All right. So, are there other accounts out there? Yes. Choose other accounts. And according to Neil, which I can't remember his name now, he said, as there's Apple, there's Tidal, he said that his songs didn't even sound right on Spotify. So they don't even have a good system over there. All right. So I would have to tell everyone, how are you spending your money? Because if you're not listening to Spotify, why have the app up? Why are you paying? How much does it cost, by the way? How much does it cost? Even Prince Harry and Princess Meghan got into it about Spotify and Joe Rogan, urging the platform to blunt serious harms. They're saying hundreds and millions of people are affected by serious harms of rampant mis and disinformation every day. Last April, co-founders began expressing concerns to our partners at Spotify about the all too real consequences of COVID-19 misinformation on their platform. We have continued to express our concerns to Spotify to ensure changes to its platform are made to help address the public health crisis. We look to Spotify to meet this moment and are committed to continuing our work together as it changes too. Neil Young. And now others are coming off to just take their music from Spotify. I actually should wind up seeing if Meghan and Harry is going to be able to maintain a relationship with Spotify. All right, I am sweating. It's cheaper than iTunes, but if somebody is supporting racist statements and misinformation, I'd rather pay to receive healthy information. It's very racist, Joe Rogan. I'm learning. Tasha K taught me, allegedly. I rather pay for iTunes. That's just me. I pay for iTunes. I don't have anything else but iTunes. In any case, are they going to fail miserably? Yes. Are they going to hold on to Joe Rogan, acting like they don't see what's happening? Yes. Are they going to hurt? Yes. Are they going to work to create a different atmosphere? Yes. But is Spotify, the people behind Spotify, racist but want to act like they're not? Yes. They keep Joe Rogan on because he represents the company. Think about it. There's definitely a woman coming through that's going to change the game, and that's the only time Spotify is going to wake up. I think eventually you guys are going to say, oh, remember when it was Spotify? Remember that? Yeah. Satisfied. Spotify, you don't have a leg in this for very long. I really want to see what you look like in 10 months because this is not a home that anybody wants to be in anymore. Ten months. So 10 months is October, November. 10 months after that could be August, September. It's 22, 23. I think by 24, if not sooner, there will be no such thing as Spotify. No. Good morning, busybody. All right. Yeah. I never really understood. I didn't mess with Spotify either. In fact, I don't think I've ever had it. Or maybe I had it in the beginning because it's the one with the lines. I don't know. I could tell you if I had it before because you know how Apple doesn't get rid of anything on your phone. Yeah. Nope, I've never had it. Because you know when you've had, you know when you have something like Spotify says get and Apple says open. Spotify says get and Apple says open, but I have Apple. So I never got Spotify. And look at me, because somewhere intellectually, spiritually, I already knew. Oh, yeah, get rid of them even if they're free. Yeah, you don't have time for that. Good girl. All right, guys, we're going to make this really short. I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. No promises on the young lady that passed away by jumping off of a building. Remember, my Black folks love sensationalism. And I'm the one that's doing the reading. And I could be inside her body as I'm doing the reading. And I'm not vested in that trauma for myself. Now, y'all might like sensationalism. That is not something I want to continue doing for you guys. If it turns out that someone was involved and I need to look at something later, I'll look at something later. But please do not ask me to look at that. I want you all to look at yourselves. And you ask yourselves, why does this trigger you? what's going on with this that it triggers you. And I think I know what it is. There's a lot of trauma bonding that's going on when you hear stories like this. Because the first thing you want to hear is, was it a relationship issue, blah, 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 blah. I'm begging you all to breathe and understand that mental health is a bigger issue. And if the Black community got some mental health therapies, you would actually be more understanding what happened and why it happened. And you wouldn't need a public psychic to tell you. Sorry. I gotta turn it back on you. Don't make me the person that has to look into this type of stuff. I'm saying to you all, look into yourselves and stop the trauma bonding. All right, guys, I love you. Take it easy. Bye.